conversations with them two. Voice of the people, the crew for you. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity, bring a lot of minds. We shine, we break on through. Conversations with them too. Culture, creativity, knowledge, hope, opportunity. Your voice matters, you give shine through. Conversations with them too. Yeah. You are the stage. Shine.
Yo, family, what's up? What's good? I'm telling you, man, conversations with them too. That's some banging intro music by none other than our producer himself, music producer Thad out of, I keep wanting to say Carolina, but yeah, awesome music. Family, welcome back to another conversation with them too. This episode, I'm your boy MJ, and listen, with everything going on in the world right now, especially with the talk around another potential shutdown, people are stressing, worrying, and feeling uncertain. Now, mental health is taking a hit. So our conversation today is right on time because now more than ever, we need clarity, courage, and community. Now, listen, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. We have Niki Stubbs, Niki Love is in the building, and we're going to keep it real with Niki. So parents, listen. The conversation will cover just about every topic from mental health. It may even delve into sexual health because Niki by trade is a nurse. However, her story is very impactful. So when she shares her testimony, you may want to check it out before you let your kids watch, not because it's something that's distasteful, but because some parents like to shield their kids. I'm just keeping it real. So I'm MJ. She is
Lady Des.
It's time for conversations with them too.
Yes, and I am just so super excited tonight. It is definitely an honor, Niki, that I have you for the very first time on Conversations with Them Too. We spoke a little bit on Saturday briefly, and our conversation that we had was just awesome. And I know that it's definitely needed for this day and time. And for right now, just for right now, like MJ said, with everything that's happening, dealing with government shutdowns and our children, our babies are being so exposed to so many things I probably won't ever get to experience or don't want to experience, but they're in that life. They're living that life. And I'm just so happy that you are a beacon of light to guide them, to assist them, and you're educationally sound to help them in your background in the medical field. MJ, not only is she a nurse, she is a nurse practitioner, and she got a lot of letters. Remember the ARNP, the NBC, the ABC. She is all humbly. Welcome. And I just want you to give us the correct title of who you are, and just let everybody know what you do, what you stand for, and who you are.
Niki loves Stubbs, of course. Well, as you guys know, well, not your station now, but from your previous station, my movement is Life After Love, and I am an acronym lover. And love for me is literally overcoming virtually everything. Okay, so I've been there and I've done it. Okay, I did the did to get to the do. A lot of people just want the do, but they don't want to go through the did. All right, coming from a teenage mother, ex-prostitution, ex-drug dealer, ex-convict, to now a nurse practitioner. Clock it. Yes. I'm super excited about that. And I want to be able to share my wealth of knowledge, faith, and hope for a lot of young women, and I'm going to say men as well, to overcome their obstacles in life.
So, Niki, with that being said, you know what? As always, we are so super excited that you are here with us. Now, before we get into everything happening from, like you said, mental mental pressures, some financial issues, families worried about resources, and all of that other good stuff, and your testimony, you always have a message. Now, what's the message you feel that people need right now?
Well, it's faith for me. You know, you have to be. I know that's easier said than done. Right now, I'm working on a coaching framework of the GO.L.D. You know, maintaining. You know, creating a foundation, your ground, observing your patterns. When I say observe your patterns, I look at my notes. I'm talking about observe the fear that you live in every day, addictions, abuse. And I'm not speaking down on anyone. Well, I'm not your savior, but I am your mirror because I've been there and I've done it, right? Also taking a leap, you know, trust in it, trust in the process. You would never know. I'm coming from literally knees to degrees. I repeat, knees to degrees. Okay. So high school dropout. So I know that it may seem like it's impossible, but with faith, nothing is impossible, right? Okay. Why are you looking like that, MJ?
Well, I was waiting on Lady Des to jump in, but you
Oh,
know, since you said nothing is impossible, you know, you fight so hard to help people move forward. And that's because you have a heart for the people, and your testimony is really, really impactful. So,
mhm.
why don't you tell us why you fight so hard to help people move forward?
Well, one, I mean, because I know you can win. Like, I don't believe in giving up. And I feel like giving up is saying that there is not a God, right?
Okay.
That is you saying that there's not a God. You know, for those that are faith believers, those that believe that Jesus is God's son. Like, I'm telling you right now, my worst one, my worst child, I'm not gonna give him up for y'all. That ain't gonna happen. I'm so sorry. And he gave his only son for us. And we are so hard on ourselves and we don't give ourselves enough credit. And I allowed so many things to happen to me. And I just know that I know we all have a story. We all go through things. And I'm telling you, I meet people where I tell you my story. Sometimes I just shut up because it's like they try to come in. It's like they're competing than trying to really learn,
Mhm.
right? And I back up because some people don't know that what my decisions in life until I realized what they were was not decisions that I chose to do. Like I wanted to be closer to my mother, and the only way to do that was to do what she wanted me to do, sleep with men for her to get money. I wanted to make my mommy happy. You know, times I thought about getting high just so I can get her undivided attention. Because
Yeah.
every time I catch her, she's always in a mental state of being high all the time. But I'm in a position now to where I understand her. You know, I forgave my mom. I'm forgiving her every day. Let me say that. And I don't know what she went through. So a lot of time people don't. I accept things for I gotta keep going. I can't give up. I gotta keep going. And you got some people who just give up after the first try. I can't. I don't understand that. That's you know. And I just say that is that they're not stuck. They just repeating the same thing over. But a lot of that is choice. A
Yeah.
lot of it is choice. Because baby, I loved me a bad boy once upon a time. You know what I mean? I watch women get abused all the time by men and they still wear Gucci glasses. We've been here, we talked about this before. And I'm like, I want to be like her. I want the D boy. I want that. That's what I want. But that was my problem. That wasn't his problem. I allowed that. Your
Right.
image is what you attract, right? Y'all know
Absolutely.
y'all know I keep going. Go ahead.
No, no. Thank you for being so transparent because, like I said, this is what we need. This is what people need to hear. And
Yeah.
just to look at you now, you know, I remember you brought in. Matter of fact, you wore it on your shirt. Where you came from to where
Yeah.
you are now. Even at that time, and you wasn't a nurse practitioner then. You were a nurse. You were nurse of the month. You was just listen. You was
Yes.
just you was just on that elevation trip and still there. So it just gave me hope that no matter where you come from, you can
Mhm.
still make it, right? And
Absolutely.
when we were talking on Saturday, you said you can't transform what you won't confront.
Absolutely
And
not.
I thought that was a powerful statement. Let me say that again. You can't transform what you can't confront.
Mm-mm.
So, people dealing with depression is on the rise, money concerns, and people feeling overwhelmed. What is facing the truth, at such a critical state right now? Why is
Well,
that so?
one, well, okay, okay. So again, it falls back on you, your ground, like well, your foundation. I'm not telling you I don't face adversities. I go about it a different way now. What are your plans? Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat. You don't sugarcoat your stories. Real change starts with radical honesty. So you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself. A lot of us we become discouraged, or we build our life off what we see on social media when they don't know when the lights and stuff go off. Then people on the air bed and no lights or no food. Eat oodles or noodles or whatever. But my
Yes.
luxury, I try to tell my girls this at work all the time. They're younger than me. I love them, by the way. They tuned in. I try to tell them that luxury for me is peace of mind. If I ain't got a peace of mind, I cannot think straight. I cannot think straight. But when I got a peace of mind and I'm in my zone and I'm focused and I'm telling you prayer and just trusting the process, trusting God's process. Let me say that
Mhm.
I keep going. But I mean, every day I'm learning. I leave myself open to becoming a best version of me. You know what I mean? I faced that woman. I'm only in competition with that woman I was yesterday. I faced what I was scared yesterday today. I don't only provide exceptional service to my friends. I try to tell my friends, my social acquaintances, whatever you want to call them. I tell them, listen to me. I want us to love, but we gotta love genuinely. It don't. I want you to be able to come to me with the ugly, the good, the bad, and the true. I need it all. And I'm not here. There's no judgment here. There's no
Now,
judgment.
Nikki, speaking of being hit with the truth, now you have a whole lot of truths that you had to ground yourself, and especially some that changed everything in your world. Tell
Mhm.
us about one of the truths that hit you that made you do a whole 360 from walking away from drugs and walking away from the streets to becoming the upstanding citizen that you are today.
What mindset? I changed my mindset. I'm gonna go back to my notes because I want to stay on that. So I realized that I wanted to create a mindset of momentum or stay in the mess that I was in.
Mm. Say
Right?
that again.
I changed my mindset because I wanted to create a momentum or stay in the mess. A lot of people say that they do it for their kids, and I used to be one of those people, right? But at the end of the day, these kids grow up, they got a mind of their own, they do it. You can set the best example that you can, right? But I wanted to know what I want to do for the team of me. The accomplishment that I've accomplished, you do not understand. My luxury is peace. My luxury is my accomplishment. My luxury is walking across the stage because they say what I couldn't do. I am Nikki Henson Stubbs. I know who I am. I don't care about what nobody say. It don't validate me because I know where I came from. I went from doing just some of the craziest things just to get a dollar, just to prove or worry about what you and everybody else was thinking, trying to stand in Jordan lines for my children, get PlayStations, and letting a man treat me disgustingly just to prove a point. So one day I said to myself, it was somebody I thought I was in love with. And I have 2 kids from him. And I'm telling you, this man used to beat me something horribly. And I accepted it. And I'm like, oh, that's my man. That's my man. That's all I saw growing up. Like, if he ain't beating you, he don't love you. What's the thing?
Wow.
Sweetie, I wish somebody would think about putting their hands on me right now. You understand what I'm saying? So one day it came to, and what happened, something very bad had to happen. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I was going through the motions, radiation, chemo, and I was reconstructed. And him and I got in an argument when I came back home from recovery. We fought. We got into it. I woke up. He removed my breast.
Mm.
So my thing was, there was no possible way this person actually loves me. I mean, unconditional love, the love that God wants us to have for each other. For him to do something like that, to slaughter me like that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. But the problem wasn't him. The problem was me. how could I have loved myself and stayed in a mess like that? So when I changed my mindset to momentum, this is who I am. I know this is nothing. I'm keep elevating. This is nothing. But I'm doing it with grace, humbly, and I'm just thanking God every day. I'm thanking God every day. So
And you know what, Nikki? Every time I hear you say or tell your testimony, it just brings chills because
yeah,
it's like, how could one person go through so much? And everybody that's listening and just meeting or hearing Nikki for the first time, she's just scraping the surface. She's
yeah.
not even diving deep of where she has come from and what she has endured. And this just tells me, like I said, there's no reason, there's no excuses. We have to
From the
stop.
pit to the promise, baby.
Come on, that's it. That's it.
From the
And,
pit to the promise.
and you're just a living testimony. You are proof. You are proof of what God can do. And
Yeah.
I just want to talk a little bit about cycles.
Hmm.
People keep repeating cycles and they repeat those cycles over and over, especially under stress. When they
Yeah.
feel like, especially when they've made up their mind to walk in a new light, and then there go these different stresses, and
Yeah.
you just kind of relate back to what you know, right?
Yep.
It turns into this repeating cycle.
Mhm.
Uh, how do you identify the patterns? Because you touched a little bit on patterns earlier. How do we identify the patterns that show up when life gets heavy?
Well, then, I mean, you expose them. You expose them. You know what they are. You're not stuck. You're just repeating. One of my thing was, as I mentioned, I was a high school dropout. I used the teenage pregnancy. Oh, my mama on drugs. I used that as a crutch, and oh, I got to continue to sleep with this man because my mom had me doing it, and it was a pattern. I went from dealing with drug boys to what now I'm muling they drugs. It was a pattern. Oh, I don't need to go to school. That my husband now, when I met him, he was like, "Oh, you ever thought about going to school?" And I'm like, "Man, F school. School ain't for me. The money I make now, what I'm going to school for?" Like, I mean, when I became a RN, I kind of like laughed at what I was making because I'm like, I can do that by stuffing my mulin in a few hours. But
Mhm.
the joy and the peace and the luxury and the wealth for me is my peace. People do not understand. I sleep good at night. I sleep good at night, no matter what they say. But what I did is you got to recognize them. You got to call them patterns out. It's about, I wrote in my story. So one question I asked myself, Nikki, what are you telling yourself about who you are and what you deserve? So what do you tell yourself about who you are and what do you? So it's not up to me to figure that out. That's up to you.
You.
Once you figure that out, that's when the patterns change. It
Mhm.
changes for you. It changes for those around you. And it's not about what you was taught. I just told you, I was taught that if a man didn't beat you, he didn't love you. So that means what I'm supposed to do, teach that to my daughters, was that did that make it right? So the patterns don't change until you change. It always comes back to us. What I was taught, is it even true? Right now, women in my family to this day, it's still they're in their lives slowly deteriorating because they decide to deal with men like that.
So Nikki, let me ask you this. Well, before I ask you this question, let me go to the chat. Stacy says, "Glory to God for discernment, growth, elevation, and grace." The
Come
list
on.
goes on and on to not even look like what you've been through. And we
Amen.
told you that, when we met you time and time again, you look absolutely nothing like you've been through. Your personality is beautiful. You are beautiful. Um, Here's the question I want to ask: because you went through it, what is your advice to tell somebody that is in one of these situations how to shift from excuses to accountability without falling to pieces?
Gold, baby. The acronym GOLD. Ground yourself, observe. That's exposing your pattern. Leap. You got to move before you're ready. You got to move before you're ready. I think that, see, I move when I'm scared, most people would say. But it took me 15 years, the last time I spoke with you guys, to reach. the pivotal point of becoming an RN in my life. And I had several doors shut. Dear, I was on probation. Okay.
Yeah.
I was on probation. I owed court calls. I owed probation. I was on probation and I went to school and signed up for school. I went from taking remedial classes to where I was on the dean's list every semester, taking one class at a time. One class at a time. I never gave up. I complained about it a couple of times and I was like, look, the complaint didn't get me nowhere. The complaint didn't get me nowhere. I kept going. I only can anchor you in consistency. That's it. You gotta stay consistent. And just my reminder to you would be is to rebirth requires routines, positive, healthy routines. All right. Once you leap into that, you got to deliver, baby. You got to build your proof. You got to deliver. You cannot just, I'm telling, I know you said, oh, it sounds like it's another motivational. Yeah, it is, baby. Because my testimony is your survival story. You think I wanted to go through that? I didn't want to go through none of that. And some of the people I love dearly hurt me so bad, but they wasn't meant to follow me. They wasn't meant to grow with me. I learned so much from them people.
Yeah.
Des, before you go on, family and friends, those tuning in, listen, it's conversations with them too. We are getting real with Niki. And
Yeah.
for those that are watching, you see me over here laughing and smiling. And I'm going to tell you why I'm laughing and smiling, because Niki is touching on topics according to notes that we already have jotted down. And she's just like jumping over them before we can even get to the question.
You know, I get excited when I get to tell my story because I don't know who's listening, so I want them to lean in.
I get you, but it's like we asked you a question and then our follow-up question was going to be about leaping, but you had already jumped over that.
Deep
And
into it,
then you went from that to deliver. So I mean, we're in sync.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
We're in
we are.
sync, and you are definitely where you are supposed to be. Des, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say, MJ, is that she mentioned leaping, and like I said, according to our notes, that was our next letter, because Niki is all about acronyms. So we did the G for ground, and then the O for observe, right? And so now she moved on to the L, which is leap, and leaping takes courage. Leaping takes you out of your comfort zone. Leaping takes you in the unknown, right? And when you leap, you just don't know how it's going to go, but with faith in God, you're trusting and you're believing that I'm going to trust God and I'm going to take this leap. And whatever happens in this leap, that God is going to guide me through. And for that person that is listening right now, Niki, that's in the place, like you said, they don't be stuck. It's just a choice that you got to make. Am I going to stay in this mess, or am I going to get with the momentum? And I got to get out of this place. But like I said, a lot of times we get comfortable, and we're comfortable, although it's not for us. We're comfortable in that familiar place. Right. And it just reminds me of the story of when God was bringing the children, or brought the children out of Egypt. And when it got hard out there, they were like, well, back then the wilderness, we had this, and we had milk, and we had food to eat. And, we didn't have this problem, but they were in bondage.
Yeah.
They were hurting. So tell me, what would you tell someone that is paralyzed by fear? And they may not want to take the leap, but they keep looking back. They keep looking back what I'm comfortable with. I know it's not the best thing for me, but I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
One leap. What if they could take that one leap today?
Well, I tell you this, child, every time a bill come up I don't want to pay, I think about going back to that familiar side. Hallelujah. But no, baby, so this is the thing, and this is what I told you guys. So there's never a perfect time, just a powerful decision. There would never, you'll get so stuck in that loop. It's like on a hamster wheel. Like there was never a perfect time. I used, I made so many excuses on why I wasn't going to school, and I would start an argument just every time he used to bring it to me. You ever thought about going to school? You ever thought about school? And I'm just like, oh, well, what you trying to say about me? I'm arguing because I was comfortable with arguing. I come from a setting where I was always arguing with somebody who said that they love me. I felt like them, if you didn't beat me, you didn't love me. So I became the aggressor once upon a time. So I'm just on this hamster wheel. And I'm just using potty mouth words and words that you can't put back in the toothpaste tube. And I just, one day I just said, well, I gotta do it. I will never know unless I do it. Like I gotta just try it. And I didn't get it right all the time. I did not get it right all the time. But I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I'm finna we can get a little vulnerable even more with you. So when I applied to the community college, and I remember when I took like the placement test to get in, I did not do well. I was so embarrassed to come back and share that with my husband. I was like, I felt dumb. I felt stupid. I used to tell him, "Oh, you smarter than me," and he'll be like, "Oh no, it's not that I'm smarter than you. I just got more information." Me and him grew up in two different worlds. And I just felt like the first thing I go, because that's my mindset, I'm dumb, right? And I just wanted to give up. And then I just said, you know what? Let's see. You know what? Let's not just don't give up like that. I got into the math tutoring lab the community college offered. He was willing to pay for a tutor because I wasn't working at the time. He was working. I mean, like I sought out other ways to help me reach where I needed to be at. I cried along the way. I felt stupid along the way, but I did it though. Just imagine where I would have been if I wouldn't have done it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just imagine where I would have been. So I just think that, I thought that I had to do it at this time. I had to do it at that time. If this person, and I sit back and I look at a lot of people, just like when became nurse of the year. I felt like I would have had to be a nurse for 15, 20, 30 years. Dear, I earned that award in 2 years of my nursing. Because what is from God? When God's favor on you,
Come on,
baby,
Niki.
God, you ain't got to be putting in all that human. I got to do these hours, those hours. No, what God has for you. You understand? I mean, I remember when I did my exit test and my nursing program. I was finished. Everything that can go wrong went wrong. I went through surgery. I mean, all of these things. I did not pass my test. I had a professor that said, "Don't worry about it." He said, "You go home, you convalesce, and I will email you your final exam, and you can do it."
That's
Wow.
all because you were
Favor.
consistent, and your consistency built confidence.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and that's something that kept you moving. It was the small steps you took that just kept your momentum building. All right, so before we go further, I want to say, if you're listening right now, if you're overwhelmed by all of the talk of what's going on in the government, if bills got you down, you worried about food security, mental stress, listen, you are not alone. If you need somebody to talk to, or if you're slipping into depression, get professional help. Please call 988. That's the suicide and crisis hotline. Somebody will answer, somebody will listen. And for those that are looking for natural support, prayer, community groups, fitness groups, church, council, herbal wellness, ground yourself in exercise, or find somebody, an accountability partner to check on you, somebody that's going to reach out, because we don't want you to try to carry all of this stress and pressure by
Absolutely.
yourself. Help is real, help is available. And just by talking to Niki, if you knew half of the stuff that she'd been through, you would have thought that she would have given up by now. But look at where she is.
Yes. Yes. And you know what, MJ, she said a word, consistency.
Mhm.
Consistency. She never gave up. She just pushed forth and stayed consistent in that very thing that she wanted. And she said something else as well, creating routines, healthy routines. It's so easy to create bad habits. It's so easy to fall into that bad habit, that bad routine. So why not just switch that? It takes years to create those habits, right? Why not take that same time and start creating a different routine? It may not feel good. It may. Listen, I know bad routines, bad habits. It feels good, but it's killing you all at the same time. And that's the thing, you know that it is. But when you start creating these good habits, these good routines, and become consistent with it, it may not feel good all the time. It may get hard, but just know that the results at the end is going to be so much better than what those bad habits have done to you. So the years that you have taken to create those, come on, let's start right where you are and said, you know what, get that massive change and start being consistent. Take that leap into the unknown, into the unfamiliar. You're listening to a woman that has come, like she said, from her knees to degrees, and her knees wasn't there praying either. Her knees was there doing other things. Okay, so if God can, and this has been years and years and years groomed in this, right? And now look at her. So there is no excuse, and God has no respect of person. You know, we have to put in the work. I know we want miracles and signs and wonders, but there is a work that we have to do as individuals in order to get to where we are. And consistency is definitely is one of those words that sticks out. That sticks out to me in making it and getting to where you need to be is being consistent. And that's moving us into that next letter of D, which is deliver.
Deliver. Girl, don't say D like that. But okay.
Daily proof, right? This you, Niki, now. This is what you told me. So
who that to me? The one you popped the word.
The wrong D, Des. The wrong D.
What you mean?
Ma'am, you can't say D like that to Niki.
This is not,
it's the connotation.
Yeah. But no. Girl, I know. It's just, listen to me. Life is about love. And as you guys say, because that is so true. It is a lot of people. It's not as easy for them to receive the information, my story, and just everything that is going on. But the thing with me was I knew what came out of the bad habits. So I felt like I owe myself to try to see what comes out of the good habits.
Come on.
Like I owe that to myself. I don't need the miracle was me. It's only one me. We are, I know we try to we are wonderfully made. Like we have the fingerprints of the best artists on our body. Like nobody looks like me. Nobody looks like you, Lady Des. Nobody looks like MJ. So why you don't think you deserve to see what comes out of the good?
My God.
But the confusion comes from we feel like that we're not living. We see these everybody highlight reels. I hear they talk about that a lot. Because we're not living every day to show yachts and I'm at this hotel, at that hotel. Maybe I let the girls know. I let my girls. Let me tell you something. My husband brings me peace. You do not understand. From the men that I've had, I've been told from a child that I continue to have all these children. I would never have a man around my age or a man that will want me with a house full of kids. I met my husband with no kids. Clock it. We ain't got no flybyers. We ain't got none gonna come out of the middle of the night. My husband is only 1 year older than me. He met me with 5 little children. I thought he was a fool. Okay? So that's my best friend. I know God made him the physical best here on this earth. And like you say, MJ, get you a person. It don't have to be a husband. It don't have to be a wife. It don't have to be. But we all need that person.
Yes.
It's okay. God wants us to we came in pairs, right? The animals, the human, we came in pairs. So it's okay to have your friend that you can talk to. But I know that you do got people that hurt you too. You telling your business and they get mad. They telling everybody. So it's hard to trust people. but you trust that God is going to only surround you around those that are your people. That are your people. You got to trust that, and you pray for your friends, like you pray for your kids. You pray for yourself. You pray for them because you never know what people are going through. So, but deliver.
Um,
I meant build daily proof. Okay. Transformation is not an event; it's a decision repeated.
come on. Say that again, Nikki.
Transformation is not an event; it's a decision repeated on repeat.
Yes. Yes. So basically, it's not a one-time thing.
Mm-mm.
It's not an event. This is something that is daily,
Yeah.
constantly on repeat. And this is what you have to tell yourself. Um, look, this ain't no one-time decision. Every morning I wake up, I have to make the decision that I'm going to be a better person than I was yesterday. I'm not going to be the same. What is it that I need to change within me?
Mm-hmm.
And surrounding yourself with a community of people. Nikki, when I first met you, you spoke so highly of your husband.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing to hear you still speak so highly of your husband. And two is better than one. And what I would say is that it's a blessing to hear how he spoke life into you.
Amen.
And I'm gonna veer off just a little bit, MJ,
Go ahead.
because she touched on speaking about her husband, and I'm heavily into encouraging marriage.
Marriage and encouraging relationships and couples. Yeah, yeah, we know.
Absolutely. And it just shows the power of that, how God has given us um, the capability to speak into each other's life.
Yeah.
And if we learn how to use our tongue and to speak life instead of death, to speak life instead of complaining of what we see the negative in the individual. And that's what I love. No matter how much negative you spoke about yourself, because that's all you saw, he
Yeah.
said, no, I
Mm-hmm.
see something greater in you. You
Yeah.
can do this. I can help you. And thank God, God gave you the humbleness to receive the help. And
Yes.
and the more he spoke it, the more you begin to believe it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how we have to be with our spouse. And I'm just speaking to even with the women,
Yeah.
no matter, because we're so quick to judge um our husbands or our significant other that may be male, and he may not do everything that we want or move how we want. But I believe if you pray and speak life into
Amen.
that,
Amen.
I mean, regardless of what society in this world has told him that he is or he will become because he doesn't have X, Y, and Z. No, God placed you there for a reason. Speak life and speak over him. Because
Absolutely.
looking at Nikki, this is a result of when you use your words wisely. Your
Mm-hmm.
words have power. So we have, as individuals and as a community of people, we have to understand that our words have power, and we have to use it so wisely when
Yes.
we're speaking and when we're saying things. And I'm just so grateful for your husband, how he spoke over you and how
As
he spoke life.
I, yes, as am
Yeah.
I. I'm telling you, it helped. I mean, I know he was the opportunity, and I'm not saying people have to be married. What I'm saying is, I knew that he was the opportunity when I asked God, like, what do I do now? Because I was being controlled by men fists and their money.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband has been raw and who he never changed. Maybe me, I got a little bit more bougie, but he have always been the same person from the day I met him. From the day I met him, never called me out my name, never raised his hand at me, always been kind and patient, even when I became aggressive. I need you guys to understand it because that's me facing my ground, like facing what I did, the decisions I made, observing my patterns before I became the aggressive, you know? And I got to give that thanks to because I mean, the women in his life, they loved him. His family, they loved him. They taught him. I didn't know unconditional love. I knew that's what God gave me, but I didn't know how to give it because I never received it from my mom, you know? But my husband taught me how to do that. And I'm just like, can't nobody love nobody like that. Nah, I don't care. Yeah, you gonna cheat. I used to speak down like, yeah, you gonna cheat. I know it's coming. And he may not be y'all handsome, but he mine. And I
That's what's up.
mine. From the top of his head to the sole of his feet, he's mine. Okay. I don't need no Instagram looking because them right there, they ain't paying nothing but booking and looking at the next one they can have. I know I can trust mine. Now, I'm gonna change the man is a man, yeah, however you want to say it, but I know what I pray over when that man go to bed. Okay.
Amen.
And if you got to go out there and cheat on me, it wasn't meant for you to be with me, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
But I know
Beautiful.
God don't want that for me. I know He don't want that for me. So I'm not. Those not the things that I worry about. You know. So I'm very grateful, and I do want to tell you guys. I do plan on going back to school for my doctorates.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Do it.
Yes. Yes.
Nikki,
Yes.
listen, you have come a long way, and whatever your heart desires, do it.
Of course.
I guess it's time for the benediction, huh? No, I'm just kidding. Nikki, we do have some fun questions that we're going to ask you, but before we jump into those questions, Lady Des is going to ask you. You shared with us this past weekend the story of one of your 12-year-old babies.
Oh yeah.
I need you to enlighten the people that are watching because a lot of people think that it can't happen to them.
Well, I mean, my mom started. I was sleeping with men since I was 12. I got pregnant when I was 14. So it is happening. It is real. And I know a lot of us think that which is something I'm struggling with myself, that we think because we give material things to our children, we always be the yes man, the yes mom, the yes dad, that they gonna follow suit. Um, I'm learning that culturally, 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds and 14, it's okay for them to, but they don't really. I don't think that the culture don't understand that. They understand that, you know. But we got to pay attention, especially to our little girls and little boys. I'm sorry, we got to pay attention to all sex of our kids, females and males. But our girls, I mean, a lot of times little girls can hide them bellies. You know, it could be happening in your household. It could be happening in your neighborhood. I used to tell my girls when they used to tell me, "Oh, who was Mister Such and Such?" Because Johnny up gave apples and candy. Oh, that's their best friend. You know me and your best friend who? All that sitting on Uncle lap and that. No, ain't sitting on nobody lap. I don't need no knee ride. I don't need none of that. You got to ask questions. You got to ask tough questions and uncomfortable situations. You have to. It is so hard and it's scary to get the answer that you don't want. But I wouldn't recommend that you just yell at, you snap. I know it's easier said than done, but these babies are having babies very early and they want to go home and eat cereal, Fruit Loops, and Lucky Charms and watch their favorite cartoons.
And some
You
of them
know,
don't realize.
well, don't even realize what's going on. They're growing a whole human inside of them. So that's really scary. And because you get pregnant, it don't, how many babies in you don't got does not determine by age. Oh, you're 12. I'm only going to impregnate you at one. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You know, these kids sexually active earlier than that. Earlier
Wow.
than that. So just pay attention. Pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to it. You know, conversations. Have those conversations, those tough conversations with your babies.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Oh no, not now. Let's take the heat off. Let's take the heaviness off. You had some questions you wanted to ask Nikki. Fun time, fun time.
Wait, but before we get there as well, we just want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat. MJ, I don't not sure if you're seeing the chat.
Ma'am, I was seeing the chat.
Oh,
I was reading some of the comments. Where were you?
I didn't hear you. That's why I'm asking. Did you
See,
hear some of the comments?
you didn't hear me read comments earlier.
Yes, Stacy. I know we heard Stacy.
Okay, so okay, because you want me to read more comments, Lady Des, I'll do it just for you. Samantha gave us Proverbs 3 and 15.
Come
She
on,
is more
word.
precious, ma'am.
No, I was agreeing with the word, the scripture.
Oh, that's what you wanted. Okay, so she is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her.
Amen. Amen. That's Proverbs 3 and 15. Yes.
Amen.
So thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Angel, and all of you that are in the chat that's listening to Nikki. So listen, Nikki, I just don't want you to put too much thought on it. The first thing that comes to the top of your head.
Okay.
This is very simple, very easy. So it's just a little fun time, all right?
Okay.
Excuses or execution?
Thinking too long.
Execution.
Faith or fear?
Faith.
Comfort zone or growth zone?
Growth to make it hurt.
Jump now or wait later?
Jump now.
And one word for your 2026 energy, what that one word would be.
The gold energy, baby. Nikki love energy. It's all about me.
I love it. The gold energy. That's what's up.
The gold energy, baby. The gold energy. Listen, if you're not, the thing is, you're not starting over. You're just starting different. That's it. Reinvent you. What version of you want to meet? That's it.
Listen, a young lady came into my office one time and she said I was giving her all of these excuses of why I'm still at that particular job. And I'm like, girl, I ain't got time to be starting over. And she looked at me and she was like, Miss Desi, you're not starting over from the beginning. He said, you're starting from experience.
That's right.
And I had to like really sit down. She was like, you got it.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all you need to hear.
I'm telling you, you definitely illuminate that. And that's just some posts that when you're not even talking, again, we don't know who's watching. I did a leadership conference the other day, last week. And this guy was saying that the speaker of the conference, he said that he does questions and answers at the end of it. And this young man came up to him and he was like, well, what is it that you want to do? The guy said, I want to do exactly what you do. And he said, really? You want to do exactly what I do? He said, yeah, I want to do what you have to do. He said, well, you want to do the did that I did? Or you just want to do the do?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people look at the now Desi, they look at the now Nikki, the now MJ, and they think that you can just hold up a mic and you could do this and do that and it's gonna happen for you like that. No. You got to go through it. You got to get the experience.
Yes.
You appreciate it more. You would appreciate it more. You know, you would appreciate I get so much patience. With patience came wisdom, with wisdom came out. It's like all of these things just started coming out for me. Again, I still go through things, but now I attack it differently, you know. Now I go to prayer. I go to prayer. I was telling my husband the other day, I was like, come on, baby, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. Because you're the head of the house, right?
Yes.
So you gotta pray. You covering us. So I gotta pray for you. I gotta pray for your physical being, your strength. I need to make sure you're okay. Because if you're not okay, everything else start coming running down. Now I'm the nucleus now. Everything revolves around me. But at the same time, I gotta make sure you're good too, right? Yeah.
Listen, 100. Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
So, my sister, you have dropped revelation and real talk with Nikki today. First of all, thank you for pouring into our listeners. Thank you for being so transparent. Thank you for being Nikki. How
Yes.
can they follow you on social media?
Right now, I'm frequent on TikTok. I am Niki NP. I am Niki NP. You're a diverse nurse practitioner. I'm a maternal fetal medicine nurse practitioner. I deal with high risk pregnancies. That's from teenage pregnancies to twin gestation to whatever it is. That's what I am. I am here. DM me if it's just a question about that. Um, and one thing MJ mentioned before we leave, I don't know if you was going to mention it, MJ. I'm always jumping to it,
Go ahead.
but about STDs, I don't care what it is, baby. We can talk. Let's meet up. Let me swab you. Let's do it. That's between us. It's so much STDs is out here, and people does not have the knowledge or the understanding behind it. Little girls are not being taught how to clean themselves properly, who become grown women. I'm sorry, who become grown women. So we gotta do better. We gotta learn, be open to learning and growing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very important. It's very important. Because everything that's gold ain't shimmer, but this gold energy is gold. You hear what I'm saying? But
Amen.
I'll tell you, but it's about the team of you. You take care of you, you know? Don't be in a rush.
Awesome. Awesome. Nikki, thank you so very much. Like we've been saying, your transparency uh, and your vulnerability, opening that up to everybody, because I think it's through your authenticity and your transparency is where people can really see themselves and make them feel like I'm not by myself or I'm not alone.
Mm-mm.
And I just want to thank you for that because I truly believe that there were so many that was touched. There were so many that was inspired by your determination, your motivation, your leap, everything that you offered on tonight, and to hear from where you come from to where you are now is just a living testament that if God did it for Nikki, He definitely can do it for me. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah, he did.
That's
Family,
right.
we want you to make sure that you follow our YouTube channel, Conversations with Them Too, like and subscribe, and get the book, You Are the Stage. It's a conversation. It's a roadmap to where you should be because the spotlight is always on you. So you can email convo with them too at gmail.com for your autographed copy of the book. Or if you're out of state, we can still send it to you too. You can DM us. But if you want to, just get it from Amazon, you can do that as well. Go to Amazon. It's Conversations with Them Too. Look for Lady Des, Big Head, and MJ. We'll be there, and you can get it
Oh,
that way as well. Nikki, we have nothing but love for you and every endeavor it is that you do. Make sure you tell the husband we said what up. We've yet
yes,
to see him, but
yes.
he's next. He's
Yeah,
next.
I know.
Listen, I
You
have to
gotta
bring
get
y'all,
inside.
and I said that the last time
Yeah, I
that we
know.
have to bring y'all on together
Yeah.
because our story is amazing, amazing. Y'all need to pen a book because let me tell you, that story is just
Wow.
it's God sent. It's not natural. It's not normal.
Nikki got
To
about 6 books in her, so you better wait. You better wait.
Cause baby, Nikki don't mind facing what's real, spotting the patterns, doing it scared of showing up daily. That's what
yeah.
I'm.
Mm.
Hey,
That's what
you
I'm
can't
for.
transform what you can't confront, right?
You can't. You
You
can't. It's just impossible.
absolutely. Absolutely. So that listen, I don't know about nobody else, but I definitely have been inspired and been empowered by you and your determination. Um, I feel more motivated. I do. And I just need to make some decisions. I need to make a leap.
Hey, here you
Come on,
go. Do it scared, baby.
that's right.
And Nikki,
Just
we just
do it.
want you to know that our platform is open to you anytime you need it. It
Uh,
always has been, but here we are on a different platform, and it is
I
still
love
open to you.
it. I love it. We need to do it. So our monthly check-ins. How about that?
Yes.
Okay, well, let us go offline first, and we'll talk about that in a minute. How about that?
I love you guys, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. All right, family, you're tuned in to Conversations with them two. I'm your boy MJ. She is
Lady Des.
every Monday night at 8:30 in the PM. We do this. Once again, we got to say thank you to our special guest, Niki Love Stubbs, because we were keeping it real with Niki. And there is so much more to come. So make sure you join us, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll see you guys next Monday, 8:30 in the PM. Much love to you. Good night.
Good night.